Welcome to Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living. Join each week on a journey toward overcoming life's many challenges to achieve peace, empowerment, and positive transformation. It's time to relax, unwind, and transform your life.
Hello, everybody. This is Amy Sherman. I am a licensed mental health counselor and one of the hosts of WGSN Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living show on Going Solo Network. I'd like to welcome you all. Today I'm going to talk about whether or not you are an optimistic person. You know, it's important to understand that some people are basically very cheery and optimistic and positive about things in a general way, and other people are not. So today we're going to talk about what it is that makes those people so optimistic, and are they born that way, and can we learn to be optimistic? So we have a lot to cover, and I want to start right away with getting you all familiar with exactly what we're going to do today. So as we get older, we sometimes become jaded because we've been through so much. And it's really important, I guess, to realize that we have to pay attention to what it is we're actually telling ourselves. You know, are we focusing our thoughts on the positive, or are we focusing our thoughts on the negative? And the energy that we put in both of those is the same. It could either be thinking about something good, or you could be thinking about something bad. The energy is basically the same. When we hold on to negative thoughts and images, we create more self-doubt, we create guilt and shame and suffering in our lives because it just doesn't feel good. My motto is, it feels good to feel good. And that's always what I strive to do, because it really doesn't feel good to feel bad. And I really try in my lifetime to stay as positive as possible most of the time, you know, but sometimes obviously you can't. You know, we all know that if you maintain a negative attitude about life, it's really toxic and it's bad for your health. And many people yet are still very pessimistic. You know, you've heard of Debbie Downer. You know, those people, everything that happens is like, oh, my God, here we go again. And is it because they really can't help themselves, or are they born with a propensity towards being a negative person? You know, apparently we learn our attitude about life, you know, from our parents and all the experiences that we had growing up. We become wired towards a certain direction. And there is hope, and there's a lot of research on this, that we can actually change the way we basically feel to learn another way of being. And so there's a lot of learning that you can do to take control of your outlook and shift the pendulum away from a negative viewpoint upward to a positive viewpoint. So some people, in order to do this, they try lifestyle changes, they meditate, they relax, they do yoga exercises, you know, to kind of keep their perspective upbeat and focused. And others seek, you know, professional help. They go through cognitive behavioral therapy to change some of their irrational negative thoughts into a more logical, hopeful way of thinking. I personally, in my practice, see a lot of clients who complain how terrible their lives are and how they wish things would improve. But I also see how hard it is to let go of the daily drama that you're just used to. And some people, basically, they like to talk about what's going on that's so horrible about their lives, and then they do nothing about it. So in order to identify where you stand, I want you to think about your habitual behaviors and notice how you explain bad things that happen to you. I said this to one of my clients recently, and I said, what do you tell yourself when bad things happen? Do you basically say, oh, here I go again, something else is going wrong, it always seems to happen to me? Because that's the negative glass half empty approach to outlook on life. You know, if on the other hand you could say to yourself, well, you know, things could be worse. You know, this is not the worst thing that could happen. I guess I'm thankful that, you know, things are okay in general. You know, that kind of statement basically says that you're a little more leaning towards the glass half full. And, of course, that's what we really want to approach. So optimism can really be learned. And according to Martin Seligman, who wrote a book, Learned Optimism, you can reprogram your brain and your nervous system to be free of negative thoughts and allow in optimism if you so choose, and that's the key. because you have to be willing and you have to understand that it is a choice. So you have to basically, and the first thing, and we'll talk about, I have 8 different ways to approach this, but basically you have to change what is called your explanatory style. And that, again, is how you explain the bad things that happen to you. So it's the things that you tell yourself and the things that happen in your life in general that is going to be determining how, your general sense of well-being, basically. If you're the kind of person who could say this too shall pass and things will get better, your overall feeling and view of life is more positive. So let's get started and see if we can change how you are if you're the type of person who is a little more on the glass half empty scheme of things, and see if you could understand that it is a choice and that you do have the power and you do have the control to change what it is you're thinking and how you are thinking, and also your way of being, because it really is a way of presenting yourself to the world. Think about this. When you walk into a room, does your energy reach? I mean, everybody's energy reaches there before you actually enter the room, but do people turn around and look at you because your energy is positive and like, wow, look at that person? Or are people noticing you for a different reason? And maybe your energy is exuding just what you don't want. And then you wonder why I don't have many friends, or things, I don't have any luck, and things keep happening to me negatively. So we're going to talk right now about some of the ways that we can change your energy and change your viewpoint, and again, change your way of being. So the first thing, now positive people all possess a mindset, and I want to present with you 8 different mindsets of positive people, and see if you could relate to any of them, and see if you can even change some of what you've been experiencing. So the first thing, positive people generally have a set of values, and they do not compromise their integrity to get what they want. Rather, they maintain their strong principles and beliefs, which keeps them feeling good about themselves and what they're doing. So think about this. We all have values and integrity. If you're not the type of person to do drugs and everybody around you is doing drugs, you won't do drugs because that's your value. You have a very strong integrity. You have a very strong determination and discipline about not using drugs. So, and that's a positive thing, because positive people keep their integrity and their values very strong. They will not compromise themselves for the sake of anything or anyone, because they realize it's not in their best interest to do that. They care so much about themselves. They want to feel good about themselves that they do not do anything that they don't, that will make them feel uncomfortable. It's kind of called like cognitive dissonance. I don't know if you've heard that expression before, but what that means is if you experience or do something that goes against your values, you're going to feel it in your body, and you have to kind of make it right. So you'll rationalize, you'll kind of make excuses, you'll kind of do whatever you need to do to make it feel better for you. And that's basically what we do when we go against our integrity. So keep in mind and keep your values and your integrity intact, because that's very important, and that's what positive people do. Number 2, positive people hang around with a network of like-minded individuals who basically support and encourage and energize them to stay motivated and accountable. So what are your friends like? Who do you hang out with? Do you have a lot of people who are, as I said before, Debbie Downers, people that you have to boost up all the time because they're always so negative? My daughter was telling me that she has a friend who's always complaining, and always everything is going wrong in her life, and always things that couldn't be worse. So my daughter has to spend the time with her, lifting her up and making her feel better. That uses a lot of your own energy, doesn't it? And that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to you. So instead, you want to hang around with people who are fulfilling and joyful and make you feel good and lift you up. And that's what positive people do. They hang around with like-minded people because that's who you want to feel the energy of, not the other people, because it brings you down when you're with people who are down. Number 3, the key to staying healthy and keeping your mind alert is a willingness to constantly learn and grow. And most positive people are the ones who they want to keep their knowledge base open so that they never stagnate physically or mentally. So what does that mean? It means that positive people are always learning and growing. And they're either physically keeping their bodies fit or mentally keeping their bodies, their minds fit. How they do that is by being open and receptive to whatever is out there. You know, I had a client who has diabetes, and the doctor said, cut out this, don't eat this. You know, and he went on a very strong regimen of dieting, and he was overweight by a good 100 pounds. He lost about 80 pounds. He was feeling great and doing really great, and his diabetes was under control and everything was great. And then he just stopped his diet, and he put back his 100 pounds. Now, I say to myself, why would you do that? If you're feeling good and you know that something is working, why wouldn't you stay with it? You know, what is he telling himself about? Doesn't it matter anymore? I personally don't understand that. I guess, that's just me. But, if you're like that, where you do something to help yourself and then you stop it because it worked and great, but you still have to continue doing things that may be lifestyle changes, that may be things that will keep you fit and alert. If you know that, I don't know, yoga, for instance, is good, for your body and keeps you flexible and you have arthritis, then maybe take up yoga because it's something that's going to help you. People, again, change their diet because of a heart attack or diabetes, but stick with it because it's in your best interest. I always tell my clients, try on this new way of being and thinking and doing to see if it fits well with your lifestyle. And if it doesn't, then try something else. It's like putting on a new dress or a jacket, a new suit. You try it on, it doesn't fit, you try on another size. Well, that's basically what you're doing with life. If something doesn't work the first time, if you don't like doing yoga, there must be other things. There's Tai Chi, there's, other exercises that you could do to keep you fit. You could walk, you could bicycle. There are options. There are so many choices. People who have a positive mindset keep that in mind, that they have to constantly never stagnate, never keep their physical body and their mental body in the same place because that's not in their best interest. Number 4, it's important to project confidence wherever you go. And positive people keep doubt and insecurity out of their realm of consciousness. They believe in themselves and their potential. And this is so, so very important. Because what do they tell themselves? I can do this. What do you tell yourself? Oh, I can't do this. This is too hard. Oh, this is impossible. I'll never be able to. So that's the difference between positive people. They have so much confidence in themselves that even if they feel they can't do something, they wind up, again, trying something else because they're so open and receptive. And that is so important in terms of keeping your mindset in a healthy place and believing in yourself, believing in your potential, keeping doubt out of it. Self-doubt is a downer. Self-doubt keeps you from believing that there is potential and there's a ability in yourself to reach a higher goal. We want that. We want that feeling inside of us. I'm going to take a break right now. This is WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living Show. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Hi, everybody. This is Amy Sherman, and I am with WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living Show, and we are talking about the mindset of positive people and how you can be that kind of person, that optimistic person, by shifting your mindset away from the negative into a more positive frame of reference. So we were thinking about 4 different ways of changing our mindset. We're up to number 5 now. Positive people step out of their comfort zone to take healthy risks, and it results in more opportunities and better outcomes. They are not afraid to try new techniques, new tools, practice different strategies, with the intent of reaching greater heights. Here is the key. They're able to take healthy risks. Now, I don't believe anybody should do skydiving if you're really afraid of that, or rock climbing, but there are healthy risks you could do. What would a healthy risk be? Well, speaking in public, that's scary for a lot of people. They're afraid to do that, but it is a risk, and it is important that if you can break through that fear to do something like that, it'll give you so many opportunities and potential to, network and meet new people and expand your horizons. So it's things like that, taking healthy risks. When we say, oh, I can't do that, you're really saying, oh, I won't do that. There's a big difference. Because you can, if you really wanted to try it and you really felt that it's a possibility. So keep in mind, again, that positive people will never say, I can't do something. They will allow themselves, well, let me try it. Let me see. As I said before in number 4, when we were talking about having confidence in themselves, they try things on for size to see if it works for them. And if it doesn't work for them, that's fine. They just move on and try something else. Number 6, habits become part of your subconscious mind and are no longer questioned. Optimism is a way of thinking that positive people, they internalize it. Now, think about this. Habits are automatic behavior. You're driving your car, and then you're thinking about going to the bank and going to, you have to call so-and-so, and you have to finish your blog and whatever it is you're doing. And you're driving, and you forget your exit or you pass your exit. But nevertheless, you were driving your car. Something and someone was driving, and that is your automatic, the subconscious mind, the automatic part of you that is so used to driving, it just automatically just drives the car for you. And that's terrific. But a lot of times our automatic behavior is not in our best interest. And we have habits that may no longer be healthy for us. Being a negative person and dealing with negative thinking is a habit. And so what we're talking about now is to internalize a new habit. So we need to create a new positive automatic behavior by being aware of what you say, how you say it, and how often it is that you do say it. So notice when bad things happen to you, what is it you're saying to yourself? How are you saying it to yourself? And kind of shift that. Take it away. Change that. Don't say it anymore. Don't allow yourself to be caught up in that negative stream of consciousness. Number 7, positive people have a compelling vision and a plan for their future. They have a clear blueprint or outline of what they want, and every day they do something to bring it closer to reality. This is important. Wayne Dyer used to say it's still very important to follow his advice. He has said to always do 5 things every day towards your goal, so that at the end of the day you can say to yourself that I am so much closer to reaching what I really want out of life, and that is, of course, the goal that you set for yourself. So do 5 things. If you can't do 5, do 3 things, but always do something towards your goal. Positive people have a compelling vision and a plan for their future. They know what they want. They have a clear blueprint. They have an outline. They know they want to go from point A to point B. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. So there's your goal. And in order to do that, you have to do 5 things every day to keep yourself on your regimen in order to lose weight. So after day 1, you lose a little weight. Day 2, after a week, and so on, you're on your way towards your goal. Have your vision in mind. Know what it is you want. And when you feel like you're moving towards completing that goal, you're going to feel so wonderful. It keeps positive people feeling, it gives them that momentum to continue with that line of thinking. And it's also, it's good for procrastination to get things done during the day. So, keep your vision in mind and try not to let things waver it, because keep in mind, from going from point A to point B, you may not get there in a straight line. It's probably going to be a little zigzaggy, and it'll take you a little longer than what you planned. But if you keep your vision and your thought and the plan of your future in mind, you will get there. Number 8, it's always good to believe that it is within your control to shape the outcome of your life, and that you're not a victim of chance circumstances. Positive people are willing to put in the effort necessary to make things happen for their greater good. We kind of touched on this a little, but it's important to know that it goes back to this helplessness feeling that sometimes we feel we have. The definition of helplessness is that you feel that anything you do will not make a difference. And I hope that nobody ever feels this way. So if you believe that it is in your control of your life to shape the outcome of your life, at least you feel there's some hope that you can make some changes, that things will possibly happen in your way. One of the things I always say to myself is anything is possible. And that kind of keeps me going. Anything is possible. Wow, anything is possible. So if anything is possible, and of course I think of it in a positive way, then, this possibility is possible, and this possibility is possible. And I kind of go along with that, it doesn't have to be like, it seems like this is the way it's going to be. Anything could change. I tell some of my single clients who are looking for a life partner, I tell them, you never know that the next person that you're online with in Walmart, or the next person who calls you on the phone for a wrong number, or the next person who is the cousin of somebody you know, could be Mr. or Mrs. Right. Anything is possible. And you don't know, you don't have the plan for that, but at least be open for that. Positive people are willing to put in the effort to make things happen for their greater good. So if you feel that no matter what you do, nothing will change, you're going to be caught up in that self-doubt, and you'll get caught up in that, the shame and the guilt and the wallow in self-pity and all those other negative things, and that's not the way you want to go. Positive people really believe that anything is possible with some help, and generally, they do make things happen. Understand that we can't change our past, but we really can change and embrace the future with a feeling of openness and optimism, and that's all it takes. And it also is a willingness from you to try a new way of thinking and perhaps a new way of being. So when things look really bad, when things look like, oh my God, this can't possibly get any worse, you need to tell yourself that it's possible. Things are going to change. I mean, things can't get that much worse. Things will get better. This too shall pass. I will get through this. I can get through this. I am capable of changing my life for the better, and starting right now, I will make that happen. And that's a wonderful, wonderful way of living the rest of your life. It's feeling good. It's feeling hopeful. It's feeling optimistic about what lies ahead. And that's a great, great way of feeling. So we covered the 8 factors of positive people's mindset. I hope you could cull what you can from this information. I hope you got something out of this, because it is so important to feel good, because it just feels good to feel good. And any questions that you have, you can reach me at amybethsherman@gmail.com. And I do hope to hear from you. I hope that you become a new you, and you characterize the mindset of positive people and that energy as well. I'm going to sign off now. This is WGSN-DB, Going Soul Network. This is the Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living Show, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.